Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Transnation Esports US Regional Monday coverage from the French Grand Prix. I am Stu, joined in the combox this evening by the one and only Seb. How is it going this evening, Seb?
Oh, bonjour, sir. It's going great today, buddy. It's going great. I always look forward to talking with you and spending time with you on Mondays.
No. Well, thanks, Seb. I feel the exact same way. It's always a fun time, and hopefully that that did not sound very sincere at all, did it?
No,
Um,
it's got a couple stutters in there.
oh my, we have rain. We have rain.
Oh, really? I'm still on a loading screen.
Oh well, that is just explains some of the server issues that the game seemed to have experiencing this evening. We had quite a problem getting everybody in and underway. Trying to just get everybody in a lobby was hard enough. Never mind. Apparently, getting everybody into that lobby now. Hopefully, everybody gets in fine. The clock has started on my end, where I'm viewing it, so hopefully it has for everybody else. Just going to get the stream up and so I can keep an eye on the YouTube comments here, but this is this is quite a wrench to throw into things. Wet quality dry race, I'm being told. So that's fun stuff. That's
Always.
identical to what we had last night, isn't it, Seb? We had a wet quality and dry race.
Oh yeah, we actually did. I still feel like this would be intermediates too. I don't think it's full wet, so I mean that definitely would be a mirrored quality of what we did have last night.
Now, one of the things that we noticed last night is that the line, like the curbs on the track around here can be difficult to see in the wet. So I wonder if that's gonna. I don't know if anybody runs no racing line around here, but
Oh, and we do have a runner on the softs.
pardon me.
Yeah, oh, never mind. It went to intermediate.
I was gonna say what? Whoa!
I mean,
As we
that's a
hopped,
little gutsy there.
I got tossed into Buck's Alpha Towery, and it hopped up in the pits. That was interesting. But regardless, we're off and underway here. 16 drivers tonight for this Monday night race, so a pretty good turnout. Only one reserve, so 15 of the regulars. I don't. This division is not quite full, so a decent turnout indeed. Oh, and we have some side-by-side action going on on the outlap. It's always good to see.
Already.
Yeah. Now, Seb, before we get too into this qualifying session here, do you have the championship standings nearby?
I always do, Stu. Always
Oh,
for you.
good lad.
Oh, I try. So here we go after round 8, which was last week. We do have an updated standings. We got Michael Groten Jr. Top Gun in P1 with 155 points. We have Joseph Bucks in P2 with 145 points. Zach Dillegaff P3 with 120 points. Michael Schooner P4 Iceman with 88 points. Jonathan Dunk P5 with 80 points. Daniel Hernandez LD Joker in P6 with 80 points. Julian Negro Soy Loco in P7 with 36 points. Vince Batterby in P8 with 30 points. Alex Gutierrez being P9 Bean Sandwich with 29 points. Trevor Pound P10 24 points. Aaron Bolin P11 with 22 points. Wesley Sandridge P12 with 17 points. Bill Vossi P13 with 16 points. Rolly Shield P14 12 points. Peter Pan Bowtie Die P15 with 12 points also. We got Cameron Blackstig in P16 with 10 points. David Aponte P17 with 1 point, and rounded it all out in P8. Oh, actually P18 Peter Hayward with 1 point, and then rounding it all out Jacob in P20 with no points right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jacob not able to join us this week. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him in more as the season goes on. But I don't have the championship for the constructors in front of me either, Seb. So I'm
Oh, of
slacking.
course you
I'm
don't.
slacking tonight.
Of course you don't.
Come on, this is what partners are for. You got to back me up here.
Oh, that's why I got him right here for you, and to let you know, we got McLaren in P1, 235 points. AlphaTauri P2, 169. Got the Red Bull Racing Boys with 168 in P3. Got the Racing Point 149 in P4. P5 we got Williams with 40. P6 we got Mercedes with 37. Alfa Romeo in P7 with 34. Haas with 29 in P8. Ferrari in P9 with 21. And Renault in P10 with 17.
Yeah, the good old Renault boys. They've been. We've talked a lot about them over the course of this season. They're missing one of their. Oh yeah, we. No, never
No, we
mind.
have them.
David's here. Yeah, you're right. As we see the first driver starting to cross the line here. Random Sirius, that's Rolly Shields. He was first cross the line, 143.9. Since then, Blackstig is right behind him. That is Cameron, I believe, in the Williams P2. But Jonathan Dunk, currently at the top of the board with a 140.8.
So I wonder if it's going to be a full quality that's in the wet. Because I know yesterday, I think it dried up really good towards the end.
It did, you're right. It did certainly dry up at the end. Um, Interesting. My game seems to have glitched, and I just continuously have the fastest lap being Blackstig Cameron at the bottom of my screen. So that's nice. Thank you, Codemasters. Um, Zach Hockmeyer, a 140.891, just off a pole time set by J-Dunk currently. Yeah, Seb, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It did dry out for the end of our session yesterday. It wouldn't surprise me. It's not raining that hard right now. All it would take is probably 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes for the track to dry out enough to get a lap in on the softs. So it wouldn't entirely surprise me if it dries out enough for the softs here.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't either. And I mean, I think that's what these guys are going to be looking for, trying to watch and see if it does end up drying out and see if they can catch anybody out and them end up being on the softer tire and seeing if they can sneak that last lap up in there.
True. Actually, you know what would be extra sneaky? Is if you were to go out at something on like a set of mediums at the end. You're still going to leapfrog a lot of the guys. As Bucks goes to the top of the charts at 140.3. You go on a set of mediums, sure, you might be behind if there's only a couple other guys that ran on the softs, but you'd still be in front of all of the intermediate runners. But
I don't know what you're talking about there, Brett. I saw an opportunity and I seized it.
That is one way to put it. Oh, I missed Michael Garone Jr. going up to second fastest, a 140.557. Now, well, we're probably going to see these times improve as these drivers put 1, 2, 3 laps on these tires. The intermediates, the more heat that you have in them, they're going to perform a bit better. So we're probably going to see these drivers start to go a little bit faster. I noticed that yesterday in the qualifying session. You typically got it maybe on your second or third lap. You would get the best out of it.
Oh yeah, easily. Every time it's conditions like this in quali, and if the rain goes for a little bit, I never switch out the tire. I personally feel like it does better the more you use it.
That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever used sort of that logic. Usually I'd come in though and slap like 3 or 4 laps of fuel into it. And ooh, man, there are some weird funky things going on right now. There's a foam barrier that I just saw explode on stream. For absolutely no reason. Good work by Codemasters this evening.
Well, they're on a good one today.
Oh yeah, they are. This is a good day this is a classic Monday for Codemasters.
Somebody didn't want to go into work today.
Yeah, no kidding. Now Sep. Oh, I just saw Michael Garone Jr. Oh no, this is Daniel Hernandez. Absolutely bomb off the track, but it's because he was going into the pits. I was like, oh man, he's going into the wall hard. But Seb, now, what are your thoughts on this French Grand Prix circuit, Circuit Paul Ricard here? Do you think it's a French masterpiece, or do you think it is? Yeah, not the best that France has to offer here.
I personally like French fries better.
Like French, well, I mean, you are American, it makes sense.
Me personally, I don't admire the track. Like I really don't. I don't know what it is about it. I personally just don't like it. I don't like racing here. I feel like it can get a little boring, especially if the drivers start to spread out a little bit more, and to me it's just I could do without it.
Yeah, I hear ya. It's I guess I'm gonna say I'm kind of caught in the middle on it. I actually, for versus what this track was in last year's game, I love this track a lot more than in last year's game, and I think it just might be because of the aerodynamic changes that they made to these cars. You actually feel downforce in this year's game, and I think that makes this track a lot more enjoyable to drive. You really feel like you're glued to the track here in these cars in this game. And I did enjoy driving it last night. The one thing that I will say is I really don't know if it's that great of, like, I'll take myself for example. Last night I spun out, and like if I had done that at any other track with a reasonable runoff air, like normal runoff areas and everything, it may have been the end of my race because there would have been a barrier there to catch me, or there would have been I would have been going through the gravel, and it would have cost me a lot more time than it did. And that's one of the things that I'll say I really don't like about this track in that sense. How it doesn't punish you really if you make a mistake, but I don't
So,
know.
so what you're saying is you like to be punished.
Oh boy, Seb. Seb, this is a PG broadcast. This is a PG broadcast, buddy.
I could definitely feel that though, I mean, like if you do spin off, like I mean, you gotta really throw it to be able to hit a wall here.
Yeah. The only hope that we'll have for a safety car tonight is a little bit of wing debris that comes off and causes a safety car.
Oh, of course, and Codemasters is all over that one.
Oh yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. Now, an interesting storyline here this evening is that is Zach Hockmeyer. He is, of course, back to back to back to back. Yes, that's 4 in a row. Race winner here in as we're heading into France. Um, so, whoa! Speaking of the devil's axe off. Oh, makes it. Ow! He comes up just short of the barrier. That is you see, that's exactly what I was talking about. Thank you, Zach, for demonstrating exactly what I was talking about. If that's if that's any other track, then his qualifying's done. There's no way that he wouldn't have lost a wheel. So, like, that's the beef that I have with France, but anyways, going back to talking about Zach before he spun at a perfectly timed moment there, is Zach has won 4 in a row, and he's looking to make it 5 here in France, but so far this qualifying session has not been going his way. Currently sitting P4 in the on the timesheets, a full half second behind Bucks, so either some of these guys might be running dry sessions, as we have. That is Iceman has retired from the session.
Retirement.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have hit something.
It looks like he lost it coming out of turn. I don't know what turn that is, but the one that we just saw Zach go around.
I'm trying to get off of Daniel right now.
Yeah, I just saw him. He landed on the inside barrier, so he definitely lost it coming out of there.
I mean, that's
unfortunate
is the wet
for him.
for you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to dry up at the end of this session, though. It's still raining pretty good. Um, so I don't think we're going to see a similar situation to what we had last night.
I mean, that does give a free, well, just like it did yesterday also, it does give a free choice to everybody.
Actually, you wouldn't have got the free choice yesterday, would you? Because you qualified on the socks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
I qualified normally like everybody else gets to.
Okay, Seb. Well, yeah, okay, but regardless, you can at least answer this question. Did you get a free set at the start of the race?
No, I didn't. And unfortunately, as soon as I went out and I started making that lap,
You
I guess you
realized.
could say, yeah, I guess you could say that's my karma for taking advantage of that. As soon as I was starting it, I realized I was like, I should have went out on the mediums.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you got out. You know what? You didn't just sink like a rock on the first lap or the second lap of that run either. Like you stayed up there. I mean, I was running in fifth, I think, and I didn't cross paths with you until it was close to when it was right before you made your pit stop. So
I
like
mean, I was really trying.
I know, and you were putting up a good fight.
I,
I
I
was
was
worried. I'm like,
trying.
the one guy I don't want to wreck is you, because I know I would have to hear about it until the end of time on Monday Night Comms.
Oh, that would have been the content for the rest of the
Oh, I
season.
know. I would have had to prematurely retire. As we haven't had anybody go faster than Bucks, it's kind of stalled out here. I don't know if maybe the rain has gotten a little bit harder. It certainly hasn't let up at all. But
I
these
mean, it still
guys,
kind of looks like the same rainfall.
yeah, looks can be deceiving though in this game.
That's true. For all we know, it could be sunny skies here in a second.
And this game is, I mean, as everybody watching on YouTube knows, they can just see the continuous fastest lap is just staying up there, and it still says Blackstig with a 142.419, which I mean, he has personally improved on that. A 142.419 would put him in P10 right now.
It's okay. I'll update you with who starts placing fastest laps during the race.
Well, I mean, hopefully this doesn't carry over to the race. Otherwise, I mean, just put a bullet in me now. But we do
Can I get
see
my bag of chips
Bucks.
first?
Bucks crossing the line. He is going to improve. He breaks the
Oh,
139 barrier. So, ladies and gentlemen, we might see some time starting to come down here as the session winds to a conclusion. About a minute left on the clock for these drivers. Everybody has set a qualifying time. There was a time there where T-Pound was unfortunately unable to get a qualifying effort in, but he has since done so.
well, here we go. Let's see who gets bunched up and who doesn't.
Michael Garone Jr. is on an out lap. He should have time to make it around. He's currently in P2. Zach Hockmeyer is about to cross the start-finish line. So he is beginning what will be his final flying lap. We're going to ride... Oh, is it Michael in front of him? No, Michael's behind him. So we first have Daniel Hernandez, who's off. Okay, he's done. Zach Hockmeyer, we're going to follow him around here, see what he can do. He's currently P5. He's going to want to pick up a few extra spots here if possible. He has gone 2/10 faster in the first sector. That is enough to at least pick him up one spot on the grid, but still many more that he wants to pick up. He's a full second behind Bucks right now, so he's really going to have to put it in motion if he's going to have a shot at getting pole here. Lots of drivers on hot laps right now. It seems most of the drivers have either retired from the session or they're on hot laps as more and more are retiring into the pits. As I believe. Oh, there was a Mercedes flipped around there. I think that was Peter Hayward just staying out of the way of Zach here. As Bill Vosti jumps up to P9.
Daniel up to P2.
Yeah, Daniel's been in P2 for a little bit
Oh,
here.
I didn't. Oh, and Michael loses it.
Uh-oh.
Coming around turn 10.
Zach is still on a flying lap, though, so Michael Garone Jr. is not going to improve, but what can Zach Hockmeyer do? He accelerates out of the final corner, down the front DRS straight. A little bit of a wobble there, but this looks like it's going to be competitive. A 140.333 is good enough for third fastest for him. What's J-Dunk up to? J-Dunk is... I don't know if he's on an improvement here. He is on a flying lap. He's going to finish this out. He's going to come out of the final corner. He's going to come out of the final corner, down the front straight. This is not... Oh, could it be an improvement? It is an improvement, not enough to pick up a position, though. And that is going to round up qualifying here today. So, Bucks is going to pick up pole from Daniel Hernandez and Zach Dilligaff, Zach Hockmeyer. Seb, an interesting qualifying session. We at least got a bit of action there towards the end, but I don't know. I thought it was going to dry up a little bit more at the end of this session.
Oh, definitely, but I mean, it's still pouring rain.
Yeah, that is true. It did definitely not dry up. So, a little bit of separation between the groups of drivers here. Wonder if that had anything to do with perhaps different aerodynamic packages that some of these guys might be running here in the rain. I would imagine if it's going to be a dry race, it's not even a doubt that that you go out there on your full dry setup. But you know, maybe you can play with the front wing and differential and stuff, but those are just about the only things that you can play with. Everything else would be in Parc Ferme.
I mean, I personally would have just ran with the same exact setup that I would be running the dry race with.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Interesting that it is cloudy out right now, and it looks a little bit eerie. I mean,
Brett, no, I can't.
Brett is just trying to stir the pot, isn't he? As he always does from the comms. He's actually been, he's been a little bit quiet so far this evening. I wonder if it's been a busy work day over for him. Of course, as we are running this regional race, it is the middle of the day in New Zealand for Mr. Keenan. But we always enjoy having his chats from in the YouTube comments.
Oh, of course.
And actually, you know what? A couple weeks ago, he actually came on the broadcast. We actually got the man on. Man,
Am I here for that?
I believe you. Yeah, you were. You definitely were. This is I don't know. The clouds look strange.
I mean, they might have
Spit it out.
I don't know what I'm trying to do. They might have rain at the end of the session.
Maybe. We will see. We will see. Interestingly enough, Seb, the only one driver starting on the softs, and that is Rolly Shields, Random Serious. Speaking of him, where I will run you through, since I made Seb do all the championship standings, I'll take you through the DXT eSports starting grid here. Starting on pole in the AlphaTauri is Joseph Bucks. Starting alongside him in P2, Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker in the McLaren. On row 2, we have Zach Hockmeyer, Dilligaff, and Michael Garone Jr., who starts alongside him in P4. On row 3, we have Jonathan Dunk in the Red Bull, starting alongside of Cameron in the Williams. On row 4, we have the Iceman, Michael Schooner, I think we're getting his name right there. And starting alongside him, our only soft runner to start this race, that is Rolly Shields, Random Serious. On row 5, we have Bill Vosti in the Renault. Alongside him is Julian Monegro in the Mercedes. Starting on row 6, Peter Pan in the Haas, and his Haas teammate starting right alongside him, that is Wesley. Starting on row 7, Polish Sniper, our reserve driver for tonight in the Ferrari, and that is Mike. And so another Mike is getting thrown into the mix here. And then starting alongside him is David Aponte in the other Renault. Finally, rounding out the grid tonight, we have Trevor Pound in the Alpha Tauri. Starting alongside him is Peter Hayward in the Mercedes. Seb, do you like the idea of zigging where everybody's zagging here and going with the softs?
I would have preferred the softs at the front. I mean, with everybody around him running mediums, he's really going to get stuck at the end when he has to pit before everybody.
That's true, but we are about to go green here. The lights are long gone, but the revs are still there, and they're off and away. Buck's got a great jump off the line. Daniel did not, and he's having to block for Zach. Zach and Michael go side by side into the corner. Zach is going to pull out. Michael goes wide. They're 3 wide behind him. 3 wide between a Red Bull, a Williams, and a Renault. They seem to have straightened it out, though. And there is an Alpha Tauri that took the short way around. And guess what? Cameron Blacksteg has the fastest lap of the race right now, 142.419.
Wow.
Just lightning speed here.
Already finished a lap.
Yeah, apparently. So interestingly enough, Bucks has already jumped out to a 1.1 second lead. So he is jumping.
Putting pressure on Daniel right now.
Oh, hello.
Turn 10.
Yeah, Daniel and Zach are side by side. They managed to sort things out, though, and Zach goes up to P2, making his way through early. Bill Vostia, he is at a good start. He was one of the drivers going 3 wide there earlier, and he is up into P7. Yellow flag for... Oh, that's a Ferrari. That is Mike. Polish Sniper Mike. Reserve Mike. Yeah. Speaking of Mike, Michael Poland. Okay, it's just the game is just being weird now. Oh, we have a couple drivers pitting. That's why. Cameron and Julian Monegro pitting. I assume they have wing damage. Perhaps they got together with Polish Sniper Mike. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That is an Alpha Tauri. That's Trevor Pound.
What is going on?
Now I was checking out the YouTube comments, and I do believe that Brett hit the hammer on the head with this one. He referred to Rolly Shield's tire strategy as a little bit random. And Rolly's username is, of course, Random Serious. I do think that Rolly's pretty serious about this tire strategy, though, because he's done well to hold P7, especially with some of the carnage that has unfolded elsewhere in the field.
That was a lot of puns.
I mean, I gotta do something. My job here is I gotta make this interesting, you know.
Made my head hurt.
Oh, poor thing. poor Sebi.
Well, is that our first penalty of the night?
I believe so. This is a track that you don't really see many penalties handed out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you should have had a penalty for your qualifying shenanigans last night, but
you're salty because you didn't do the same. So I passed you in qualifying. Like it's okay if you're mad, just say it, dude.
Man, the 3-second time penalties would be being handed out like candy on Halloween here.
It is October.
There are more 3-second penalties being handed out so far on this lap than there are baguette shops within a 10-minute drive of this racetrack.
Weren't you just saying seconds or something that was referring to about not really getting penalties on this track?
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't really get a penalty. Okay, I don't want to talk about my
Spit it
penalty I
out.
got last night, but geez, you sound like me now. Uh, I don't really want to talk about the penalty that I received on this track last night, but
Oh.
let's look through here, and we're gonna have a battle for the lead before too long. Something that's interesting about this track, and you know what? I found myself a lot more in this game under fueling the car and counting on a safety car later in the race. Well, maybe not purely under fueling, but maybe under fueling it compared to what you would want to ideally have in the car. At a track like this, though, I don't know if that's the best strategy to go for, as I think it would be pretty surprising if we saw a safety car here this evening.
Yeah, that's taking a real big bet there, Stu.
Yeah, that did take a long time to say, didn't it?
No, like that's a real big bet betting on a safety car
Oh,
here of all places.
yeah, true. It would be. We should do odds. We should be odds makers now, Step. We set the odds for each individual track. You know, we turn this into a real money-making operation here.
I mean, I'm down for whatever, Stu.
What would that be? Job number 6 for you?
Oh, you know, why you gotta throw my personal life into it?
Hey, man, the guy's got to do what he's got to do. Now,
Oh, damn, now you sound like me.
oh, the roles have reversed, Seb. The roles have reversed. um, Interesting though here. The top 5 are all close-ish enough to be within DRS range of each other. Daniel Hernandez has fallen a bit off the back of Zach right now, Zach Hockmeyer. But all of them, you could throw a blanket over the top 5 guys here. This is there's going to be some good battling between these 5. I think they seem to be all fairly even on pace in the dry, and this should be fun to watch how it unfolds.
Oh, I sure hope so. You know, I really hope we're not watching the DRS train tonight. Because if that's the situation, I could have just gone to the trolley station and watched that for free.
The trolley station. I do keep forgetting that you're in California. Do you have an extensive trolley network there?
Oh, yes, we sure do.
Really? And you actually call it a trolley?
Yeah. What else would you want us to call it?
I don't know. I mean, there's lots of names for.
The choo-choo station?
Well, it's not a train. Well, it is technically a train, but
The city choo-choo?
the baby choo-choo, Seb. The baby choo-choo. God, that's what we call them here in Toronto. The baby choo-choo.
Are you serious?
No! Oh my God. We call them streetcars here in Toronto.
Yeah, no, we call actual cars street cars.
Well, yeah, whatever. I mean, they're known as trams in a lot of places,
Mm-hmm.
but trolley is one that I'm like, are you from Britain or something? Like, oh, I'm gonna go catch the trolley.
Wow.
It's the middle of the night. It's the
Wow.
middle of the night for the Brits right now. This is my free reign. I've been staring at Michael Garone Jr.'s car for a while. It's time to switch over to the battle
I mean,
for the
you
lead
missed the
here.
battle between Zach and Bucks. Zach has already passed Bucks while you're over here talking about the trolley in a British accent.
This is absolutely classic me on Monday nights. What was it? Oh no, I don't remember if it was the national broadcast or if it was the regional one at Monaco, where I think I missed every pass for the lead that entire race. And I was like, well, there's only going to be like 3 passes that take place in this race, and I missed all 3 of them. Zach
Might have been Monaco.
Yeah, it might have been for these guys. Bucks looks to be struggling with those medium tires right now. He ran wide coming out of turn 2, and he does look like maybe he's struggling to try and keep pace with Zach right now.
I mean, Zach's been on a whole nother level. I really want some of whatever it is he's been having.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what? But our Zach on Sunday is that's Honda. Like, Zach to
That's
Monday
true.
is what Honda is to Sunday. It's pretty incredible what these guys have done here in recent weeks. Just absolutely put on clinics. And both of them, of course, do run in the national tier 1 of no assists. They have some serious pace behind them.
Surprising to see the Red Bull boys split up.
Yeah, Michael Schoonert, the Iceman, he hasn't had the greatest start to this race. Of course, we are only on lap 6 of 27 around here in France, and a lot can happen. But yeah, definitely not the start that he would have wanted, I'm sure. And you know what? I'm also going to give a bit of a shout out. I know this is, again, still very early in the race, but Peter Hayward has done a pretty good job so far. He's just ran a clean race. He's been off to a clean start. He's currently about 8 seconds back of David Aponte in 11th, but Peter's done a good job to keep it clean, avoid all this carnage so far. And yeah, commentator's curse probably incoming, but we have a battle here between the Haas fellas. That is Peter Pan in P10 and Papa Samic. That is Wesley currently in P9. These guys are duking it out. Both of the Haas's in the points right now. Gunther would be having a fit.
Oh, of course.
But, you know, that's classic Gunther. Seb, what do you think Haas is going to... What do you think... Jeez, you Americanized the shit out of that. Gunther.
I thought this was a PG stream there, buddy.
Whatever. They're side by side as they come out of the corner. Man, Peter Pan just got an incredible run out of the corner. Wesley's right on his rear wing. Yeah,
nobody's giving up an inch.
Fellas, this isn't NASCAR. Don't bump draft each other. Holy moly. I know. I was joking with Matthew Elliott last night. We were in a party chat for the race around here, and I was telling him, Matt, I'm gonna bump draft you around here, bud. Like, you're starting just in front of me. He was starting, I think, 6th. I started 7th. I'm like, Matt, I'm gonna bump draft you. Don't worry, it's gonna be good. Didn't end up bump drafting.
Looks like he's trying to make a move on Rolly Shields.
Oh.
Still chasing him.
Rolly has done really well to hold that P6. That's kind of like the best of the rest, it seems like, tonight. Those top 5 guys seem to be kind of on a bit of a different planet. And already having built out a sort of a 7.5 second gap back to this battle going on here for P6.
Oh, did Peter Pan pass Papa Sandwich? Or yeah, was it reversed, or?
No, Peter Pan passed Papa. He passed Pops. Gunther would be happy that they didn't wreck each other. But Seb, what I was going to ask you actually is, what do you think might happen there as we're keeping an eye on this battle between J-Dunk and Top Gun for P4? What do you think is going to happen with those Haas boys next year? Do you think that Grosjean and Magnussen are going to stick around, or are they going to insert some of that young Ferrari driver academy talent in there? What could you see happening there?
Iceman made a turn, made a overtake on the inside of turn 11.
Iceman made a turn,
right past him. He made a pass, made an overtake, but yes, he did make a turn.
He's made how many turns around this track? Like the 16-ish. He's made 16 turns this lap.
You know, so what do you do for a living? I turn.
Just turn.
But about the Haas question, I would get rid of them both.
Yeah.
To be honest, if it was me, I would put Hulkenberg and Perez in those cars and see where it goes from there. In all honesty.
That's even, I didn't mention it a minute ago, but that is definitely something that could happen there. It's are we going to see Michael make a move here into the chicane? He dives to the inside, and he's going to get that move done going into the chicane. Nice and easy for Michael Garone Jr.
And I mean, I honestly don't know why they haven't signed those 2 drivers. They know Hulkenberg wants to come back and is ready to go. Perez obviously got pushed out. Like,
There's one clear there's one reason why they wouldn't be signing those drivers, and it's money. I mean, we gotta face that fact right now is um, driver salaries are not something that's included in the new expanded team budgets. That's one of the few things that's excluded. Um, so these guys, I mean, Haas didn't want to sign Hulkenberg going into this year because of the money that he demanded. So clearly, there's going to probably be a problem with signing the two most expensive guys that are available, like except for Hamilton, but Hamilton's going to stay with Mercedes. Currently out there on the grid. Whereas if you sign some of these Ferrari factory drivers, you're not going to have to pay a nickel for them. If anything, they might be paying you to run some of their drivers. So, it's it's interesting. As
I mean, that is true, but that's a risk you gotta take. Like, to be able to have the potential to be up there.
I think what a more reasonable like conclusion might be, it sounds like Kimi's sticking around for another season. I was just looking at at an article today, and it sounds like Kimi's keen on sticking around for another season, and Alpha wants him. Alfa Romeo wants him in that seat. He's done really, really well. A really good guy for car development, and has helped them a lot, as we've seen throughout this season, let alone the other, let alone last season when he joined up with them. But Kimi's good for that team. We think he's going to stick around for another season. I think if you're Haas, you probably want to stick one of the Ferrari factory drivers in, and maybe you want to stick one of these vets, either the Hulkenberg or the Perez in there, and it's kind of whichever one you like most at that point.
Oh, and Michael's running into the pits.
Oh, there's going to be a double stack of McLaren.
Oh no!
Oh, Michael is going to get absolutely wrecked on this.
That is going to ruin his race.
That is such bad luck. And this is a hard pit lane. Actually, this isn't as bad as it could have been. This is the fastest double stack I've ever seen in this F1 game. Michael maybe only lost like two or 3 seconds out of that deal.
That's still 2 or 3 seconds, though. I mean, Zach and Bucks are already going up the back straight.
And interesting that Michael went to the... Actually, I guess everybody's probably going to be going on to the hards. I proved last night that the soft double... The two-stop strategy is not really viable. I'm surprised these guys didn't stay out another couple laps, but I guess they just...
Oh, and Michael took a penalty.
3-second time penalty for him. Not ideal, but he did get past David Aponte shortly after, as Daniel Hernandez got past Bill Vossi. I imagine we're probably going to see these leaders come into the pits here any moment now, as
I'm sure,
as they're not going to want to let especially the what am I talking about? The undercut. Actually, Zach is staying out, as is Bucks. Is J-Dunk going to come in? Let's see.
No, Dunk ran right past it.
Interesting.
So they're all staying out.
Yeah.
Could be running a different strategy along with Iceman also.
Could be. I'm trying to take a look at the gap here between Daniel Hernandez and Michael the Iceman. And Daniel seems to be catching Michael pretty rapidly here. I understand that Daniel might have been a little bit faster on track as it was, but this is quite a rapid rate that Daniel's catching them at. So Daniel could be putting himself here in good position. Michael Garone Jr. is 7.5 seconds back of Daniel, so unfortunate for him that it cost him that much time on the pit stop. As we see lots of drivers starting to pile into the pits now. Zach Hockmeyer coming into Sector 3. See if
I'm sure he would pit now.
I mean, 12 laps on the mediums is reasonable. Those mediums probably aren't feeling it that much yet. But just on pace alone, you don't want to be undercut by too much. Almost goes
That's
wide coming
true.
out of the corner there. He slows it down to get it under the this. He actually stuck it into neutral as Bucks comes into the pits as well. J-Dunk
And
into the
Iceman
pits.
coming to the pits. Oh, I mean Dunk.
Yeah, is the Iceman going to follow into the pits? I imagine he probably will. Probably see the rest of the medium runners pile in momentarily here.
The Iceman should be able to pull off a double stack.
Yeah, he is coming in. There's more than enough time. There's about 14 seconds there.
So Daniel might get the jump.
Daniel might. Where's Daniel
Maybe.
coming out? He's down the front straightaway. Zach is coming out. Daniel's going to get into P2. He just set the fastest sector 3 of the race. So Daniel 2.2 seconds back of Zach right now. He assumes the main competitor's seat. David Aponte has stayed out. So Michael Garone Jr. 3 seconds back of J-Dunk. So that is about the amount of time that he has lost from this. We did see him complete the pass on J-Dunk before they made the pit stop. So Michael has some work to do now to get back up there. But a couple of battles going on here. The Haas boys are glued together like fly glued to garbage here, and I could have
Two
used
peas in a pod?
yeah, 2 peas in a pod.
You could have used a better metaphor than that.
Yeah, these two Haas drivers are about as close as peanut butter and jelly. I don't know if that one's a really good one either, but you know what? I'll work on that for next week. All right.
Okay, that's a good idea. Let's just stop while we're ahead, Stu.
Let's just. I was ahead, eh? That's news to me. But they've been stuck together all race here, nose to tail, and the battling just continues. The best battle that we have on track right now, back down here for P12. Actually, you know what? It's P12 right now, but after the medium runners in front of them pit, this will be for net P9.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Oh, David Aponte was around coming to the pits, and he's...
Oh,
that was dangerous.
Ooh.
Williams almost got into him, and then he almost backed into somebody else. Ooh, this is a sketchy rejoin.
The session. I think he just disconnected.
Did he?
Yeah, it said that he had left the session.
Ooh, that's hopefully that is the case, that it was a disconnection and not a quit there, as that, yeah, it was a disconnect, you're right, as he just rejoined. So unfortunate for David. That was also almost very, very bad for some of the other drivers. We have Peter Hayward and Cameron Blackstick side by side into turn 1 and 2. There was almost major contact there between the Mercedes and the Williams driver. Oh, and now Peter has lost some wing.
Struggling.
Yeah, Peter has front wing end plate missing there, so might have been some contact with his teammate as he was going past. Up at the front, though, the gaps have expanded as the Haas boys are side by side. Holy moly, Gunter's having a fit. These
Let him race.
These guys are duking. Well, yeah, they're racing for their seat next season is what they're doing. It's all fun and games until somebody's brakes fail.
Flag.
That's Bill Vosti. Bill went around. He was having a great race, and now he is falling down to P10, still in the points. But P10 for him. So seeing as this seems to be the Gunter show now, Gunter would be having a very, very nice time seeing that his drivers just jumped up to P8 and P9 respectively.
Let's see here. Iceman behind Rolling Shields again.
Yeah, Rolly has been running a very good race here so far. He started on the softs, so his hards are a little bit older than some of these other drivers, but regardless, maybe not a bad idea there to start on the softs and then make the switch to the hards. Would have had the extra pace at the beginning. Oh, the Haas boys are side by side once again. Some great battling going on here for P8 and P9. These guys have actually been very respectful of one another as well. Very good to see. You know, it would be very easy after this this very hard battling that they've gone through these past couple laps to potentially accidentally get into one another, but they've done well to stay off of each other so far.
Yeah, and that's always respectable, always very nice. You know, when you can battle somebody that hard and both still be coming out clean.
Yeah, and I mean, when they have a boss like Gunter, they don't want to be going back to that trailer and slamming any doors on their way out. They'll wind up the focus of a Netflix show. As
Exactly.
we're finally seeing David Aponte come into the pits here. 14 laps on those mediums.
I wonder if Bucks is struggling because just had shown that Bucks had a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, Bucks. I mean, we mentioned that a little bit earlier. I wonder if, yeah, he seems to be struggling a little bit. He was going a little bit wide on corners and might might cause some problems there. But these top drivers that nobody's closing the gap on one another. Zach has a 2.5 second gap to Daniel, who has a 2.1 second gap back to Bucks. There's then a 4 second gap back to J-Dunk in fourth, and then Michael Garone Jr. in fifth with he's 3.7 seconds back to Dunk. So he has lost some time on this stint. Now,
Very interesting.
in the YouTube comments, Brett is very interested in the Transnation eSports Drive to Survive. So. We might have something here.
Oh, can I be in it? Can I be in it? Can I be in it?
Yeah, you could be. Let's see, who would you be?
Yo, there is some serious swerving and tailing going on between Rolly Shields and Michael Schunett.
Is there, eh?
Like, all over the track.
There's some hard defending going on, is what you're saying.
Very.
They do
I'm
have
trying
to
to
be...
get content for the new series.
They do, yeah, true. Between the Alpha driver and the Red Bull driver here. Now, who would you be, Seb? What kind of a role would you fit into? I could see you fitting into like the Ricardo type role. You know,
I dig it.
You're around for a good laugh.
If I'm Ricardo, can you be my Verstappen? Back in the day?
I mean, they did not really like each other, and I think we do kind of like each other.
I was taking it a bit farther, Stu.
Okay,
Stay in your own lane.
Fine. Okay, be that way. You know what? You want to make it that way? I'll be freaking Verstappen then. I'll make sure you get booted off this team up here in the booth.
That's fine. I'll make sure you lose your engine supplier.
You know what though?
Then really rethink your decision.
At least I'm the second best driver on the grid, so.
I mean, if that's what you want to think.
Maybe the best. Who knows?
That's a little farther, Stu.
Give me Mercedes equipment. Give me that
You currently
Honda
are in
equipment.
Mercedes equipment.
Oh.
Oh, and I think David came out right by Iceman as Rolly was defending.
He did. I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, Iceman maybe struggling a little bit to get past here.
I think David called it a little bit too early on those softs.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to make another pit stop. I think that's quite a stretch. Although nine laps. Actually, if it's 9 laps, that's doable. Those softs aren't gonna be.
What did you do last night on the softs on your second stint?
I did an 8-lap stint and a 7-lap stint, I think, on this. No, maybe I did 2 8-lap stints on the softs. And they were fine. They were fine by the end of it. They just didn't have the same pace. Like, it's not really worth it to put the softs on here. I found. You'll be really good for a lap or two, but then you just you level off to the medium guys. or the hard. Like, ooh, the battle. Michael is trying to get past Rolly here for P6. His patience may be running a bit thin.
I know my patience would be thin, especially after staring at the back of that Alpha for this long.
Yeah, that's true. He's going around the outside of Rolly into turn 1. He's going to get that job done going into turn 1.
Cool, Rolly came across trying to defend that.
But they nobody made contact. That's all good and dandy. So Bucks is starting to close the gap a little bit to Daniel Hernandez. I don't know if that's Daniel struggling. He has fallen. He's 3.5 seconds back of Zach now. Bucks is 1.6 back of him, so there might be a battle that might start to develop there shortly for P2. But, I mean, other than that, the only somewhat close battle right now is between Trevor Pound and Peter Hayward back for 14th place.
I mean, Rolly looked like he's getting ready for another move.
Nah. Not at all. Looking at Rolly now, not at all. So maybe there's two somewhat close battles here on track. As Bucks is continuing to close the gap on Daniel there for P3. That's one worth keeping an eye on there. But right now,
Michael seems like he's losing time.
Yeah, it does. So I don't know if Michael. I can't imagine that he would have got a bit of wing damage or anything there, but yeah, just doesn't. Maybe not liking the way that car is behaving.
Very interesting.
There's some real interesting defensive tactics going on here in this battle between Rolly Shields and Michael Schoonert. The weaving back and forth to break somebody's toe is
Told you.
questionable at best. It does tend to be frowned upon.
Oh, just like my quali lap, right?
Yeah, just like your quali lap. But I thought you didn't want to talk about that, so.
There's a lot of things I don't want to talk about still.
Okay. Bring it back around to oh, go ahead, Seb, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, regarding our conversation way earlier when the stream started, you know, like, this is kind of one reason why I don't like France. You know, everybody just gets so spread out.
Yeah, there's nothing that bulks them back together. Although, you know what?
Yeah.
We have at least, though, had some good battles around here, though. So far this race. I mean, we've seen it here. The Haas boys, they were going at it for a while. It seems like Wesley has won that battle for now. But Peter's only 4 seconds behind him. Still 6 laps to go, so I guess that's a bit of a tall order. But safety flag or yellow flag in sector.
There you go.
I was trying to to urge it into a safety car. Trevor Pound retires in the pits. I thought he might have retired or crashed somewhere on track and got excited. Not for the fact
might
that
be making a move on Daniel.
Oh, hello. You're a better commentator than I am tonight. You're actually caring.
I'm help you out, Stu.
You're caring about the on-track action.
Oh, you know, somebody has to.
That is true. Now,
I think our closest battles right now are Bucks and Daniel and Rolly and Michael Schoonert.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of surprised. I thought Michael Schoonert was going to put a bit of space between him and Rolly, but Rolly's done a very good job to hang with Michael. So yeah, as we were saying just a second ago, while we have seen the field spread out quite a bit, we have seen some very good battles. So at least we have that to come away with. And we also got to develop this brand new league concept, Seb. As we see Bucks make the move into turn 1, yeah, he's gonna get that move done on Daniel. We also came up with this amazing new league concept, Drive to Survive TNE edition.
I think we've made some progress.
Yeah, I mean, as Brett said too, it would be an amazing. It, it, it would be a fun.
Spit it out.
Man, my
Get it out.
words. You see, after I mentioned it to you about being stuck for words, now this is
I
karma
think
at its
there's a
finest.
exactly. I was gonna say I think there's a word that would explain what's going on right now.
Yeah, that I just can't find. um, no, but uh, uh, the McLaren double DNF at Canada. Um, Brett was saying, so that would be Michael Garone Jr. and Daniel Hernandez. They had a double DNF at Canada? I don't remember. That
I
was last week, wasn't it?
no, but I think he said tier one no assist nationals.
Ah, I see.
If you need me to read for you too, just let me know, Stu.
That's true. I thought we were going to be keeping this in the whole U.S. regional context here. That's what got me confused. But I do suppose everything's not all about the U.S. regionals, is it?
No, it's all about U.S. regionals.
Okay, good. I like that, Seb. We're on the
You
same
know what?
page.
I'll sponsor it.
You'll sponsor it? Deal.
I'll sponsor it.
We'll have
Oh, we have a Ferrari stopped.
Uh-oh. Is that Mike?
It is.
Oh, because he went in and retired in the pits, probably? Maybe? No? No?
No, he's still racing.
No, he was just letting the leaders by.
When did Trevor retire?
Yeah, Trevor retired in the pits. I know, based off of Discord conversations, apparently, I don't know if the Iceman and T-Pound, if they lived together or if it actually was just a trip that T-Pound was on, but I actually think it might have actually been a legitimate trip. I guess Trevor and Michael the Iceman are together right now, just in the same house. They had a couple PlayStations
Officially?
going and ripping officially what together. I didn't mean like that, Seb. Didn't mean like that.
Daniel looks like he's chasing Bucks down.
Yeah, he is. You're just gonna. Oh, as we're having a very close battle as well between Rolly Shields and the Iceman. I think Rolly might have almost gone up side by side with the Iceman going into the chicane there.
Don't look now, but Billy's chasing down that P9 with Peter Pan.
Oh, Billy.
Well, somebody's got to pay attention.
There's so many things that I could do with Oh Billy. There's have you heard of Shania Twain, Seb?
Nope.
So this is gonna bring it back. This should have been put out there in the broadcast last week at Canada when I was talking about Canadian things.
Daniel looks like he's gonna start making a move on Bucks here pretty soon, and then
easy,
we go back
Seb.
to our battle with Rolling and Iceman.
He lost 0.2 of a second when you said that. Stop jinxing these guys. Actually, the battle on track is between Julian Monegro and Cameron Blackstig. This is a battle for 11th.
Both Haas boys are getting attacked right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, Haas and Williams. My bad.
Come on, Seb. Keep it together here.
Hey.
Oh,
go ahead with your little.
Rolly missed his braking point, and he went really deep there in the very technical Sector 1. He's going to lose some time for that, but he's not going to lose DRS. Meanwhile...
Alright, go ahead with your little info there, Stu.
Oh, my Shania. I can talk about Shania now? Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I don't even remember what I was talking about with her. But she's a Canadian country music singer. That
you guys have country music up there?
Yeah, we sure do.
Oh, and look at that. Daniel got past Bucks. See what happens?
Daniel got past Bucks a while ago.
Oh, I thought Bucks was in front of Daniel.
Bucks has been trailing. He's been closing in on Daniel for the last little bit.
No, Bucks was in front of Daniel.
No, you're crazy.
No, I swear Bucks had gotten in front of Daniel at one point.
Don't make me rewind this video.
I will put money on it, Stu. I will put my championship points that I have occurred for the whole Haas team.
I'm not willing to put mine on the line, so. Back to the racing action.
Oh.
You're right, Zeb. You're right.
Somebody in chat confirmed that. Right.
Wait, well, guess what, Seb? Guess what, Seb? We're gonna have a battle for P2 as Bucks is going up the inside of Daniel into the chicane. Not gonna make the move though. You know,
Hmm.
don't you have another battle to keep an eye on, like the battle for
Like,
ninth or the battle for sixth?
I mean, Bill's a little bit behind him going down the home straight, and then looks like let's see here. Michael might be running into some back markers. Rolly might be going on for another battle with Michael Schooner here in a second. He might be a little bit too far back. Well, is there anything else you want to try to throw at me, Stu? Bill's right on the back of that Haas.
Yeah, there's nothing I can throw at you right now, Seb. But don't you worry, I'll get you.
Oh, he might be
Bill's gonna
making a
make the
move.
move. Bill Vossi
Oh,
makes
let's see
that
him get
move
it
look
done.
easy.
Getting
He
that P9.
he had a nice run on the back of Peter there, just coming out of onto that long back
And you
straight.
got
Michael's in the
Bucks
pits.
again.
Michael Garone Jr. gonna pit here and try and grab the fastest lap on the last lap of the race. He had the time gap behind him to the
Oh,
Iceman.
Bucks
So
is going into a very tight turn right now with Daniel
and Bucks takes it away.
on that very technical turn at the end of Sector 1. Michael's gonna lose places though.
What? I wonder if he.
Why?
What happened there? He had a
Daniel
20
took the
some.
spot back.
He had a 20-some second lead. Maybe could Michael have spun? No. I wonder if
Not
there
that
was
I've seen.
could there have been a penalty that was served there? Because I don't know if he's gonna get those spots back.
I mean, he is right on him, but it's a 26 lap. Those stops aren't gonna be able to do it.
Interesting. That's, so maybe a bit of a blunder there from Michael Garone Jr. But regardless, there's still some good battles going on track, and there's going to be an even better battle developing now for that P5 position, with Michael looking to get back past Rolly. Looks to make quick work of him. He's going to go around the outside of him. Oh! Michael Shunit's around. Iceman's
Oh,
around.
wow.
He reset to track. There is going to be consequences for that.
He's gone. His car's gone. He's in.
I
don't know where he's going.
No, I see his car right now.
I did see that though.
There was a reset to track there, and ladies
That
and
is
gentlemen,
definitely not allowed.
that's a big no-no. That's a good way to end somebody else's race.
Oh, and I think we do have a confirmed from Matthew. I wonder if that's confirmed to what we were talking about earlier.
I already confirmed it, Seb. We don't need to dwell on this.
Oh,
As
you did?
Bucks is
Oh.
making a move on the inside of Daniel Hernandez. Pay attention to the dang show that we're watching here. Stop getting your confirmation friggin' thing
Oh,
on.
and Michael did get around. Oh no, we saw that. God,
Oh yeah, it's
God, I'm all messed
old.
up now.
Oh, Seb, you have lost it, haven't you?
Well, he
you-
did set a fast sector.
You have
did set a
assumed
purple sector one.
you've assumed my position here.
That
No.
doesn't sound great.
Oh yeah, that didn't sound that great, did it? Regardless, though, we are on the final lap of this race. Zach is in Sector 3. He has, once again, he hasn't put a foot wrong. It's been incredible, the domination that he has put on here the past month and a bit. Zach Hochmeyer is going to cross the line and win the French Grand Prix. His 5th race victory in a row. Incredible.
I wasn't aware Lewis Hamilton was sim racing with us.
Daniel Hernandez is going to cross the line in P2, but he loses P2 to Bucks on penalties. So Joseph Bucks will take P2, Daniel Hernandez P3. Jonathan Dunk crosses the line P4. He was actually not that far back of Daniel once penalties were factored in. Michael Garone Jr. will look to cross the line. He will cross the line in P5. Will he keep it? I know he did pick up a penalty. He crosses in P5 and
Also sets the fastest lap.
Oh, did he? Okay, so that worked out for him. So he keeps P5. Rolly Shields P6. The Iceman, who had that spin, P7. And Wesley Papasamich, nice result there for Haas as he comes home P8. Bill
Two
Vosti
CRL guys are gonna drag race to the end right now.
coming home in P9. Oh,
I
there
don't know
was
where.
a. We don't know where they wound up finishing because it instantly ended things. Cameron Blackstig got P11. We didn't see that though. Papasamich Wesley with that nice fighting stance gets driver of the day.
Let's see here.
How did those positions end up wrapping up? So it was Bill P8, Peter Pan P9, and Papa Samich P10. So he actually dropped down a few spots. Did Wesley manage to keep a top 10 position though? Cameron Blackstad comes home P11, Julian Monegro P12, Mike, our reserve driver tonight, P13, David Apane 14, Peter Hayward P15, and then the only driver that retired from the race, Trevor Pound, coming home in 16th place. Now, Seb, do you have the top 3, or do I need Zach, Joseph Bucks, and Daniel Hernandez?
I've already sent the invites, Stu. Relax.
Well, you're doing a good job then, sir. You're doing a very good job indeed.
I try. Anything for you.
Oh, thanks, Seb. That's
Well,
kind.
you know.
Daniel cannot do the interviews today. So we may only have Bucks and Zach join the chat. We do, and man, perfectly on cue do they join the chat. Holy. So we are going to start this broadcast, or this interview section off here with the driver who finished P2 today. He didn't cross the line in P2, but got P2 based on penalties. That is going to be Joseph. Joseph, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your P2 run today, and congratulations on your pole position as well. It's a hairy qualifying session there in the wet, but you pulled off a great lap there, and then you translated that into a good run this race. Do you want to walk us through your qualifying and your race session?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a really good event for us overall. Once I saw the rain in the qualifying, I was kind of licking my chops, really hoping it was going to rain in the race too, so that was disappointing when I saw it wasn't. We threw on the dry setup, and I made the mistake of actually not changing the wing, but I set fast enough time. I was like, well, I'll just try it again, and it worked out, luckily. Couple of gasps in there, with the fast turns, but we made it work and got the P1. Going into the race, knowing it was going to be dry, I figured some of the guys that were behind me were definitely going to be a little quicker. So it was just a matter of making sure I hit my marks and tried to be as smooth as possible, because I know penalties definitely play a factor here most of the time. And it really did towards the end of the race. I mean, I had a good battle with Joker for most of the race, and I checked his penalties with about 5 laps to go, and I know I was getting to him, and just thinking about it towards the end, I was like, it's really not worth trying to battle him, so I just, let him go by, and then just use the penalty gap to secure the P2 finish and keep the good points.
Yeah, probably a wise decision there. Don't need to force the issue in that sense, but. Yeah, it was a great run for you. Like you said, a little bit hairy there in the qualifying session, but you managed to keep it going in the right direction, and you brought home a really good race result here today.
Yes, we did. Now I'm looking forward to getting to Austria.
Yeah, that's actually what I was just looking up. Is Austria is the next race on the calendar, and that will actually be the official halfway mark of the season. So it sounds like you're excited to get to Austria. Is that a track that you particularly enjoy racing at?
I think it's fun for sure. Definitely fast. Got to have a good setup for sure. So no, I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to see some more good battles there as again we go to Austria next week. So again, Joseph, congratulations on your P2 finish here today.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And now we will move on to our race winner. Man, it seems like you can just mark this down on the show notes every single week here as Zach Hockmeyer, another brilliant run here today in France. Didn't get pole and looked like he might have been showing some a sign of maybe not maybe this isn't the week to make it 5 in a row. But Zach, you pulled off an amazing race run here today. You looked untouchable at times out there around this French Grand Prix circuit, and you turned maybe not an ideal qualifying effort into a great race run. What were your thoughts on the wet qualifying? You just struggle a little bit with that, weren't able to put a lap together, and then of course walk us through your brilliant run and your march to the front in the race.
Yeah, so I saw it was obviously raining, on a wheel or even just like, since we're in a no assist, it's real challenging to get that traction out of the corners, and especially in the last corner before the front straight. It was just eating me alive during qualifying, and then the flat open, I think it's turn 7, that right-hander, I just could not hold on to the car in qualifying. I was setting purple sectors, for up until that point, and I was really trying to push and just couldn't get it. But actually, I think honestly, being in first at France might not even be the best qualifying position, just because you get sucked up from that DRS train from the top 5. So I didn't think I was in too bad of a spot as long as we had avoided any corner cutting or penalties until I could finally start battling for the race lead. And then as soon as I think I caught Bucks maybe a little bit by surprise. At least that's what I was going for, trying to pass him in a not very obvious time, and really just tried to control the pace from there. I underfueled a little bit, so I was kind of worried about that throughout the race. I only had about 0.2 about halfway through the race, so I was running in lean for most of the race, but it gave me a little bit more confidence in the car through the corners, getting on the gas a little quicker. And I just love France. France is really rhythmic, and in your line, and as long as you're consistent and you got a pretty decent line, I think you can be quick here, and I think that showed tonight. So
yeah, it certainly did show, especially in the race run for you. So I mean, an absolute show that you put on tonight. Made it look easy again. And is this something that you think you're going? Do you think you're going to be able to carry this through to Austria next week? Is that a track that you like to run at? It seems to be one of the favorites amongst drivers, but is it one that you have good pace at and look forward to racing at?
Yeah, definitely. Austria is a really fun track. It's there's I don't think a spot on that track that you really can't pass on. I think 2 cars can fit 2 wide all the way around the track with no problem. I mean, within reason. And it's gonna be basically, I think, of a lot of who can save up ERS. Your ERS management's gonna be really important. Who's got the juice, Yeah. Everyone's gonna be pretty close. I feel, all within about 2 to 3 tenths from each other. So it's really going to come down to 0 mistakes, out of trouble, and who can get it. I'm just staying focused. I mean, everyone in the lobby that we run with every Monday is really good, putting in time. So you just gotta come back next week and see what we have to work with.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's going to be a fun race next week. Definitely one both from a commentating perspective and a race perspective that's circled on the calendar. Should be a fun one to go to. And Zach, I mean, hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week. Congratulations again on your 5th straight victory.
Thanks, guys.
Now, Seb, is there anything else that you wanted to mention here, or should we wrap this bad boy up?
Uh, whatever Zach's got, I want it.
You want the Gatorade that he's drinking.
Yeah, man, I need some of that go-go juice that he's got.
Yeah, you know what? If Seb's getting a case, I'll take a case too.
Yeah, man. You just let me know. You just let me know. We'll meet up in a lobby. I'll give you guys the goods.
Oh, dang, there we go.
All right, deal. Let's end this bad boy right now then. No, no, but yeah, I mean, although we didn't see anything crazy happen here in France, Seb, you know what? Like we were saying, there was some good battles that took place this race, and it was fun to watch. So I think overall for France, this you could consider it a win.
Oh yeah, most definitely. There was definitely a lot of good ongoing battles on today, which definitely made it really interesting. It didn't exactly make the whole day boring or anything, but it was definitely nice and exciting.
Yeah, and hopefully this good racing is going to carry on to next week when, as we said, we go to Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. So make sure that you tune in for that coverage, both on this channel, but yeah, that'll be the next time that when we're racing in Austria, because there's no nationals racing this coming weekend, with the exception of a 100% race around Silverstone. So tune in to the Transnation Esports YouTube channel for that on Saturday for North America and Sunday for Oceania. I think this is a good spot to wrap it up, Seb. So on behalf of Seb and myself, thank you for tuning in to the Monday Night US regional coverage here from France, and we will talk to you next week.